Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to episode 8 of CSO Complete Server Overview. Last time I made one of these videos, it was because of a player known as VIP Win, who asked me to review Mine Texas Anarchy every single day for 267 days in a row. Not to be outdone, a user known as M set out with a goal to beat VIP Win, and well, 270 days later, he had finally done it. So, as requested by M, today we are going to take a look at 6b6t, one of the largest 2b2t alternatives. Unlike other Anarchy servers, 6b6t allows both cracked and paid players to connect. The server also supports both Bedrock and Java, so the player base is quite different to other Anarchy server alternatives that I have played on. Before we dive right in, I want to quickly shout out the legends that are my YouTube members. These videos take a lot of time to make and honestly wouldn't be possible without the legends that are on screen now. So thanks for the support guys, and let's get into the video. So as I just said in the intro, 6b6t is a massive Minecraft cross-platform Anarchy server running the latest version of Java and Bedrock. The server claims to have no rules, no queue and no lag, and we will put this to the test later in the video. The current version of 6b6t was launched in 2022, while its predecessor was launched sometime in 2019. It's a bit of a complicated story, but I'll cover that later in the video. There are a few things that make 6b6t stand out to me. The server offers teleportation, massive player-driven events, and unlike other Anarchy servers, stuck on old versions or limited by long queue times, 6b6t offers instant access with no join queue, and the server claims to be able to support up to 1,000 players at a time, though this has never been put fully to the test. So usually when I make these complete server overview videos, I try and spend some time playing on the server to get a better idea of what the server is like. I don't like being given items right off the bat. I usually try and escape spawn and gather items myself before I accept items from any other players. And I stuck to this for 6b6t. Escaping spawn was not difficult at all. There are a lot of nether portals and there are a lot of ender chests for saving any items you may find along the way. And the highway system seems to be pretty well maintained. When I first started playing, I did not know about any of the server commands, and as I was playing I figured out that there were waypoint or home commands, teleport to player commands, and even a hotspot event command, but I chose to kind of ignore these for the time being and continued traveling around. After escaping spawn for the first time, I was traveling along a highway, maybe a little distracted by some Instagram reels, when I died to a wither. When I respawned, I saw 2 players flying around in a boat, and after messing around for a bit, I escaped spawn, gathered some wood and crafted my own boat and made a config that worked pretty well for boat flying. This allowed me to travel around much faster. No fall also works, so even if I escaped the boat or lagged out, I would not die, which was great. I spent the next few hours traveling along the highways and then stash hunting. I was really hoping to find something interesting, a base or a stash, kinda like the one I found in my Mine Texas server overview, but unfortunately I was not able to find anything interesting this time around, beyond a few small already griefed bases. Eventually I gave up on this idea and found a nice village to call home. I didn't build anything here, but I placed an ender chest and used some of the netherite blocks I'd farmed from spawn to set my first waypoint. I could now easily return to this location or travel back to spawn. I decided to take a look at some of the hotspot events, and most of the time I would just die right away, but with some persistence I was actually able to score some loot, at first by stashing items from other players that were killed, and then later by getting a few kills with the items I had stashed. I did not do this for long, but I ended up with a few shulkers, some nice kits, and I even managed to get a trident. A few days later, 6b6t held an illegal items event where all illegal items would be usable for 2 days. I managed to log in for the first day of this event, but sadly missed the second day due to real-life commitments. During the event, I asked around in chat to see if anyone had any crazy items, and people kept telling me that a player named Vind_ had all of the illegal items, so I sent him a message and he agreed to show off some of the items that he had collected. In their demonstration, they casually placed bedrock, barrier blocks, spawners, and even some end portal frames. Keep in mind that these items are not normally usable, but any item or block that is used or placed during this event would remain in place after the event. Vind even gave me some bedrock. I stored this in my e-chest and then I later deleted it from existence like an idiot. Anyways, I did not actually get to play much during the event, but it was at least fun to join in on. A few weeks later, I again joined the server and spent a few more hours hunting for something interesting for the video, but sadly once again luck was not on my side, so that was pretty much my entire experience on the 6b6t Anarchy server. So for now, let's move on to the server's history. But before we do that, I want to ask everyone watching to either like or dislike the video. It helps me gauge what kind of content you guys enjoy watching and helps me make better content for everyone. So, as I mentioned earlier, 6b6t was originally started in 2019 by a player known as Lee. The server grew fairly quickly and would maintain 30 to 40 players online at peak hours. The most notable topic during this time was an abusive admin known as the Troll 2001 who spawned in Bedrock and other illegal items. The server also faced a few technical issues with corruption and data loss, forcing map resets. Later in 2020, the server was shut down. The server's domain was given to Lee's friend, Lipo, who later sold the domain to someone known as KiLAB. Now, under new ownership, 6b6t was relaunched. It's fair to say that Lee was not happy about this. Both him and KiLAB seem to have some beef to this day actually, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. Lee mentioned that he is now hosting 8b8t, so maybe we can go do a review there sometime in the future. Anyways, a little while later, sometime in 2022, KiLAB merged the 7b7t world into 6b6t, and this brought a few new players, new builds, new items, including some illegal items like Bedrock back into the world. By December 2022, the server was updated from Minecraft 1.12.2 to Minecraft 1.19.2. This helped grow the player base, and the rise in players also encouraged the creation of new groups, and groups from other servers also started to join the server, leading to large player activity and events. By the end of the year, 6b6t was well established with a policy of no map resets and a growing player base. A year later, in 2023, the server reached its max peak of online users with an average of 90 to 100 concurrent players, which is very impressive for a 2b2t alternative. The following year, the server would face several massive duplication glitches, where players would dupe a lot of items, enriching the server's economy. The server also experienced a private coordinate exploit that let a few players track and find the locations of other players, and around this time, Vind_, who earlier showed me the illegal items, was involved with finding and exploiting a God mode bug. Before the end of 2023, the server was updated to Folia, bringing more performance and patching pretty much all of the known exploits, dupes and bugs. Near the end of 2023, KiLAB and some other server admins became more active in the community and released server lore and story quests. In early 2024, the server actually faced some drama surrounding an event hosted by the admins. 6b6t held its first ever illegal items event. After this, KiLAB announced that he would be selling 6b6t, which caused a lot of confusion and uncertainty for the server's future. He even threatened to shut the server down if no one purchased it. KiLAB claimed that the server, when measured by revenue, was second only to 2b2t.org. He mentioned being burned out and that he wanted to move on from hosting the server, but after no buyer stepped forward, KiLAB doubled down and accepted his role as the server's owner. The server started new build events, and in early 2025, the server hosted another illegal items event, which I attended briefly earlier in the video. I also noticed a new build event announced in the Discord server, but this has not yet happened at the time of making this video. So right off the bat, I'm tempted to compare the server to 2b2t. Obviously the servers are quite different and both are unique in their own respective ways. The addition of commands like /home and /tpa or the hotspot command make the server feel less vanilla, and as a player who learned to love anarchy through 2b2t, these feel strange and out of place to me. Though at the same time I can't deny the convenience of being able to travel and easily get home with the inbuilt waypoint system. I really do think that the /hotspot and /tpa commands add value to the server. They encourage player versus player activity and make the server easier to play on, while also making it more entertaining. So while I personally prefer a server like 2b2t without these commands, I did enjoy the convenience that they provide. As for in-game items, I was not able to find a base or any loot beyond what I was able to rat out of the /hotspot events. Players were very geared, and with how easy it was to steal shulkers, I do think that the economy is quite wealthy, though it's definitely more balanced than servers like 5b5t, where you can get fully geared within a few seconds of logging in. The server events are also quite interesting to me. I think having frequent community events keeps the server interesting and unique, but I do also see why people don't like this. The illegal items event in particular is an odd one. This gives certain players the ability to open end portals or to build structures out of illegal items within their bases, which feels very non-vanilla or anarchy in my opinion. Just before I started working on this video, the server was taken offline for a few days, while the devs worked to fix an issue that let a player log in as an admin. Apparently, this is just a part of hosting a server that accepts both cracked and paid users from both Java and Bedrock. I spoke to the main 6b6t server dev. He told me how he was dealing with a possible live coordinate exploit and explained to me how he implemented complete server packet logging so that he could see how every single player interacted with the server to work out what was going on. He also shared a dedicated 6b6t bug bounty program. Here, anyone who finds a bug can report it to the server. Depending on how bad the bug is, the person reporting it could potentially be given up to $500 in Bitcoin. This is a really interesting approach to server security, and I think it shows how dedicated they are to keeping the server in good running condition. As for claims that 6b6t is the biggest revenue generating server after 2b2t, I can't really prove or unprove this, but the server stats genuinely are impressive, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually true. And then there are also the claims that the server is lag free. While the server felt great and did not show any signs of lag beyond my high ping, I will say that with all of these claims, I would expect an official server TPS and tab to show this off. But in reality, the server provides no way to measure or view the actual TPS, which is a bit strange to me. With that aside, it really has been fun playing on a new server, and now that I have some items on 6b6t, I may actually randomly log into the server to see what is going on. Anyways, I think that's enough rambling for one day. If you are a 6b6t player and think I left something out, please do let me know in the comments down below. I also want to ask you guys what server I should do next, and I think it would be fun to set some challenges for the next video to give me a more clear goal while I play on the next server. So if you have any challenge or server suggestions, please leave them in the comments down below. And while you are down there, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you haven't done so already. Thanks guys, it really does help. Anyways, with that said, I've been your boy KiLAB, peace in the Middle East.